the second episode of the Plug in India EV Issue Tracker. In this series, we track real world EV issues and help people out who have problems, who report them on the forums. So for those of you who are new here, please look at the description below. We've given an explanation there of why this series is important and what we hope to accomplish by it. So here we have an issue which is quite common with many E2O owners. It has to do with deep discharge of the main battery and a fault with the auxiliary battery. So we have a report here from Mr. Anshul from Delhi. So Anshul happens to be a dealer for Amaron Quanta UPS batteries, so he knows a little bit about batteries. What has happened is his car was left uncharged for quite a long time during the lockdown, and when he wanted to start it up again, it would not start up at all. So he posted this query and he got a solution from Mr. Ranjan Ray from Delhi, where there is a procedure given in the E2O Plus manual where you have a reset switch below the rear seat, and on pressing that the car wakes up again. So Anshul replaced the aux battery, the auxiliary battery of the car, and after which his car has started working properly again. The calibration of range had gone off, and so he sent it to the Concept Mahindra dealer where they have recalibrated to its last range of 94 kilometers, and he says that he expects that he will get that much range. Now what is this aux battery that is there in the E2O? Doesn't it already have a big battery that runs the motor? Well, an auxiliary battery is present in all cars, not just electric cars, and this runs the auxiliary systems of the car like the horn, the lights, the indicators, and all the various other electrical systems, subsystems that are there in the car. The main drive train, the motor, and the drive electronics are run by the main battery. And in an electric car, of course, the auxiliary battery is also charged by the main battery itself. Now, when this auxiliary battery fails, things like starting up your car, locking or unlocking your car, which is electronic, the power windows may not work. And as a result, the car fails to start up as well. So Anshul's solution was to change the battery. A similar issue has happened with Mr. Ashok Kumar from Delhi. He has an E2O Plus P6 and he didn't use the car for 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks during the lockdown, and the car would not charge when he came back to put it on charge. So he also thought it would probably be an auxiliary battery issue. He took it to the Mahindra dealership, and there he was told that it's probably an IEMS issue, the Intelligent Energy Management System that is in the car, and the software of that IEMS needed to be upgraded and flashed, which was done, and the bistable contactor was also changed, and this enabled the car to start again and work. The auxiliary battery was weak, but he was advised not to change it at that particular point. So it's very interesting to see that there are two similar issues but totally different solutions to fix that. The details are given in the forums, and the link to the forums is given in the description below. Please check it out. So guys, if you have a Mahindra Electric E2O, E2O Plus, and you can see the status and details of your car in the app, that means you have the vacation mode facility, your car is connected. So if you are leaving it idle, then keep it plugged in and switched on, and the car will take care of itself provided you switch on vacation mode. If you don't have this facility, which means that your car is not connected, in that case you need to make sure that your car keeps getting discharged to say 50%, and then you recharge it back up. This kind of cycling is necessary for the car's batteries. Since in the lockdown you can't take your car out and drive, you can just go down and switch on the air conditioner at full blast for maybe half an hour, 15 minutes, and that will discharge the battery enough for the mains to then charge the car back up and balance the batteries in the process. Next issue is with an ePluto 7G. Mr. Gopal Krishna from Pune purchased an ePluto 7G, and suddenly the scooter just stopped. It displayed an M on the LCD indicator and it was completely dead. Now Gopal Krishna had purchased it from a Pure EV dealer who closed. So he got in touch with Pure EV and they gave him another dealer. He went to a new dealer and the dealer found out that there was some water which had gone into the motor. So the motor and the controller were both replaced free of charge, but he was levied a service charge labor for 950 rupees. So the issue is now closed and the scooter is working properly. So guys, what happened here was that there's some water went into the motor. Now this should never have happened because this is an IP rated motor and it should not be affected by water in this way. So Pure EV guys, please watch out, because as it is the warranty is only 1 year, whereas other scooter manufacturers give 3 and 5 year warranties. So anyway, the customer will what happens if a customer faces issues beyond the time of warranty? They would have to shell out a large amount of money for this replacement, motor and controller. The other thing is that the other dealer that Mr. Gopal went to did not really treat him like his own customer, and he was charged separately for service. Now this also should be looked into. He should be getting the same treatment that he would have gotten had he purchased the scooter from the same dealer. So maybe there is something that the company can do about this to make this happen, where the customers are treated better by even different dealers if they go to them. So guys, this is the third issue in the issue tracker. This is about the Ather 450X. They have recently had an OTA update and the software has gone up to 10.1.4. Now there are certain issues which are happening with the dashboard, constant restarts, and some issues with the range as well. So here is what Ather users have to say. So this is Mr. Chetan Vishal, who seems to have a handle Solatech Pune, and he says that 3 or 4 times his dashboard restarted in just a 5-minute ride, and 36-40 kilometers when he rides, he gets very low efficiency, and he says that the stats reported of 30 to 40 watt hours per kilometer is pretty high consumption for eco and ride modes. So he would like Ather to look into this. Also there is Mr. Pratik Kumar, who says that he's pretty annoyed with the dashboard in entirety. There are too many restarts and the maps are also not as useless. There's a lot of lag and delay, and he's wondering why he paid for the pro features. So he wants Ather to look into these things. So we have Pratik Shuri and Geeta Shalini, who are also having the same issues, basically screen restarts, frequent screen restarts. So what's happening is that while these people are driving their Athers, suddenly the screen goes blank, and then to get it back you have to stop the scooter and start it again, and then it comes back. During this you also lose Bluetooth connectivity, which is one of the features that Ather was really advertising, that you actually don't need to carry your cell phone or use your cell phone anymore. The connected screen will take care of it. So when there is a restart, the Bluetooth connectivity goes off, and of course your cell phone gets disconnected. So we've got Mr. Abhishek Balaji, who's a community manager at Ather, and he says that they are planning to OTA updates and they will be able to fix all these problems that have been listed above. Please look at the links given in the description so you can see the details of this conversation going on the Ather forums. You guys must be worried, how come there are so many problems with Ather? It's such an expensive scooter, it's been touted as one of the best scooters in India. Well, the thing is, with software updates, it's a double-edged sword. You can fix the problems, but a new fix can also create new problems. However, the Ather team has been very proactive. They are really looking out. You get answers from their community managers, and they are working on the problems. So don't worry guys, these issues will be taken care of and fixed by Ather. So guys, fourth issue on our issue tracker is about the Tata Nexon EV. This is a very popular car. I see a couple of them every time I go out on the roads, and many of the users are reporting this issue, which is that the car suddenly stalls and goes from drive mode to neutral mode, and you're dead in the center of the road. So many of the Nexon EV owners have been feeling that this is a problem with the software, or there is some connection loose in the high voltage electronics. But the solution given by the company is that the owners need to charge the car up to one full 100%. Now what happens is, in the last few percentage, the charging rate slows down and the batteries are being balanced by the BMS or the IEMS, whatever you might call it. And this is the solution that Tata Motors has suggested. Most owners have only been charging to 80 or 90% and using the car again. So Tata Motors has gone ahead and released a software update which basically stops the car from stalling in the middle of the road. The car will slowly be able to go for a few kilometers so that the owner can take it to the side of the road and park, or maybe get it home or to a garage to charge. So all Nexon EV owners are requested to update to VCU software update 2.10 and to charge the battery to 100% state of charge at least once a week. So guys, why is this a hacky solution? Well, first of all, we feel that this is just a technical excuse, and Tata Motors should go deeper into the cause of this issue, maybe providing active cell balancing or looking at some passive technologies where maybe a little bit of SOC might be bled off, but the battery pack would be balanced while the car is standing idle. And blaming the customers for not efficiently charging or not having good charging habits is not a good solution. However, we do appreciate that they have made a fix for this, updated their software, and at least this immediate problem has been resolved. But we do feel that they should look deeper and find a better long-term solution for this. So guys, please look at the link in the description below. Go to our forums. There are some more details and more comments that have come about this issue. So the fifth issue today, guys, is Mr. Laksh from Bengaluru, who is an Ampere Magnus Pro user. He has been using the Ampere Magnus Pro for the last 7 months. So we've done a video on Mr. Laksh in a real life EV story. The link is given in the description below. Please check it out. Laksh was having a problem with his charger. His vehicle was not charging in a regular time. It was taking various amounts of time to charge, even though he has a very fixed route of travel and he travels at only certain distances in a day. So he should not have had this variability. He's been going to his dealer trying to figure out what the issue is, getting the to and fro. After his second service also, finally the dealer changed his charger for him, gave him another charger, a new charger which was unpacked, but still it worked. And then he realized that there was definitely an issue with the charger, and the cooling fan also wasn't going on all the time, and the new charger, it's charging perfectly, no problems, but he had a lot of to and fro that he had to do, and he had to deal with the unprofessional attitude of his dealer, who kept on forgetting what his problem was and kept on promising solutions but did not give them to him. So this is a problem which all buyers of any product, whether it's an EV or not, will have. Most companies go in through the dealership model. So Laksh was generally making a comment where he said that we unfortunately have to bear with the unprofessional attitudes of all the dealers, and he was very happy with Ather because he thought that was a USP where Ather was directly dealing with the customers, and even now Ather directly deals with the service themselves. So that is where he sees a difference, and I hope the companies realize this and make sure that their dealers treat their customers better. They have proper infrastructure so that they can handle the problems that the customers have without forgetting them or pushing them off for later. So guys, if you are an Ampere Magnus Pro customer, remember the charger fan will always be on, cooling of the charger while it is charging. If not, get the charger looked at. So the links to the details are given in the description below. Please go out and check out the details on the forum. So with the change of charger, the status of this issue is now closed. Guys, the last issue in this week's episode is Mr. Vikas Kumar from Jharkhand. He has a Pure EV e-Pluto 7G, and his problem is that he actually had an accident in March 2021, and his entire back panel got cracked and he needed to get that replaced, and he wasn't getting much support from the dealer that he was talking to. So he reached out to us and he also tweeted about it, and you can see the tweets in the links given below. So in order to solve this issue, Vikas reached out to us. He also tweeted on Twitter. We got him in touch with the company and they created a ticket with the company. They also claimed the insurance which they got the money for, and finally his bike was fixed and returned to him, and now it's like brand new again. Just take a look at these pictures, guys, of how horrible the condition was when it was an accident, and later on it's looking like brand new again. And look at the cost sheet where you can actually see that there are so many things that had to be changed. It wasn't just the panel that was broken. There were a whole bunch of other accessories and items also which he would have had to pay for had he not had insurance. So this is a good job by the Pure EV team in finally fixing the problem, and because of the lockdown, service got delayed, but finally it did get fixed and the problem is now solved. So guys, after the problem was solved, Vikas tweeted back at us, and he says, I would like to thank the Plug-in India team, Mr. Ravi Thakur, TSM of Pure EV India, and the dealership too, and they are running perfectly. The dealership was extremely cooperative as they resolved my other problems also instantly and paid the insurance amount of 9,602, and he is now enjoying his green ride. So the moral of the story, guys, is that get proper insurance for your vehicle and your expenses in time of need will be taken care of. So the details to this issue have been given in the description below. Please go ahead, click on it and look at them. So guys, thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. This is the second episode of our issue tracker. We have received many comments from you guys on our YouTube video, and also the forums have come alive and are buzz with activity. I think this is the right way for us to use our forums to reach out and help the community. So do tell us what you think about the issues this week. Have you experienced such issues? do tell us about them on our forums and in your comments. If you have some information that you can share, some more technical insights that you can give, like other people have been giving on the forums, you will definitely help and enrich the community. So please go ahead and do that. Thank you guys, and see you next week.